Hello, fight fans. I'm that boxing writer, Jeremy Harridges, and welcome to this impromptu episode, which is a reaction video. We'll talk about that in a second. I just want to thank everybody who has been subscribing. To all you new subscribers out there, make sure that that you guys check out my videos, leave comments. For those of you that are watching this channel for the first time, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit that remind button so that way you know every time a video is out. I am not down in my boxing happy place. It was such a beautiful day. I thought I'd go outside, take it to nature. The peace, the tranquility. You can't beat that. For the first time in a long time, I had the weekend off from boxing coverage. I know it was a major weekend. There were 4 total bouts, and I didn't watch any one of them. Had a wonderful anniversary weekend with my wife. 10 years, hard to believe 10 years have gone by that quickly, but they have. And it was truly a nice little break from the world of boxing. But yet again, here I am. I do have a piece up this week right now on fansided.com/boxing. It is my after the fight column. You know, at the beginning of every week, I recap some of the stuff that happened last week. And this one, I focused on Gabriel Rosado's win over Beck the Bully. I didn't see that one coming. Congrats to Gabe Rosado, but I broke the fight down, seeing how he beat Beck the Bully with his mind, not just with that right hand that knocked him out, but there was more to that, kind of taking you through the nuances of what an intelligent fighter does throughout a fight, and also dissecting the mistakes that Beck the Bully made in that fight. I thought that was important to point out. If you hear a quacking, that is my dog with his toy back there. It's not me, I promise. Yeah, it was a fascinating fight. It was a fascinating weekend. And we have another one, obviously, with Gervonta Davis versus Mario Barrios being the headliner. That's the pay-per-view bout. But there's other cards as well, 3 cards in total. I'll be covering them all for fansided.com this week. Back rocking boxing. This one's a bit different. Focus for this video. Deontay Wilder has obviously taken a bit of a different approach to this training camp than just about all of his other training camps, right? He hasn't done a ton of interviews. He's done very seldom interviews, actually, including with me, who used to get an interview all the time. You know, I haven't heard from him, but I get it. I think he had so much going on last time in his last fight. Bless you, Kato. It's my dog. That I think he really wanted to silence things, thus the wearing of the headphones, which I talked about in a previous video in my reaction to the stare down. And they've been putting out little bits and pieces of his workouts. Obviously, really no reporters have been in to watch him work out, so they've kind of leaked footage here and there. And from what people have seen, the very little that people have seen, they've been impressed. Obviously, Malik Scott running the show right now as far as his lead trainer. JD's is still on. He still has a number of guys in his corner that he had in the past, like Cuz Hill. Yes, he's working primarily out of this facility that he built at his house, which seems to involve a home gym downstairs in his house, and also a boxing facility outside with a nice basketball court as well. So that seems to be some of the primary differences that he's made in his training for this fight. But he has gone back to the gym. Used to be Sky Boxing Club. Now it's the New Era Boxing Gym that is now owned by Cuz Hill, but still in association with JD's is still part of the team, just not the head trainer anymore. But he's still there. You can still see him in some of the videos. And I really like Jay and glad to see him there. But you've seen in the training videos that Deontay Wilder's been doing a few things differently. His pad work has been a little bit different. His footwork, I've been paying the most attention to. Yes, people are stunned when they see him punching to the body, which is a great thing. But you're a boxer. Punching to the body shouldn't be that crazy. What I look at are his feet, are Deontay Wilder's feet. Every time I've seen him in the ring, and something I've always been a little bit critical of, he kind of plods around, didn't really have a great gliding motion, walks around, walks his opponents down, never really bounced off of his feet and used his movement well, which is strange for a guy that's so big and well, not so big, but so athletic. I would have expected him to have better feet than he does. Now, granted, he's 6'7", and it's hard for a guy that tall to control his movement. There's a certain level of agility, and when you're that big and you have that much of a body control, sometimes an athlete that's that tall and that long can be very awkward with their lower body movements. And I think Deontay, for much of his career, has been pretty awkward with his lower body and never really showed great footwork for a boxer. Even in those few training videos that Malik Scott put out, you can see that he's been paying more attention to his footwork, not crossing his feet when moving around the ring. When he retreats, to glide back, push off that front foot, and to move his head as he does it. So he's been showing head movement, but again, this is him working against pads. Now, I didn't react to those other videos because, yeah, they're great. There's some pad work, there's improvement, but you don't see a whole lot. Then just the other day, there was, and this sounds so lame, there's video of him skipping rope. And you could say, wow, Deontay Wilder skipping rope. What's so fantastic about that? As someone that's been to his training camp multiple times throughout the last 5 years, I'm not going to give away trade secrets and things, everything here. You never talk about sparring. I'm not going to talk about that. But for the most part, I saw him only do select things. And maybe those were just the things I was seeing him do on those days. I was never part of his strength and conditioning program, which he would do off-site with a trainer. But there would be working the pads, there would be shadow boxing, and there would be sparring. Those were the main things I saw him do. But there were other things that were absent. And this is something that Mark Breland talked about when he was critical of Deontay Wilder, saying, hey, what about all the other stuff that a boxer's supposed to do? Deontay doesn't work the speed bag, and I'm using Mark Breland's words, doesn't work the speed bag, doesn't work the silly bag, and that sort of thing, right? He doesn't do those typical workouts, doesn't jump rope, doesn't do the mainstay exercises that you typically see a boxer do. And I can tell you, I've never seen Deontay Wilder work a heavy bag. I've never seen Deontay Wilder work a speed bag. Well, that's not true. I did see him work it one time, and I'll talk about that, and I've told this story before. But I've never seen him jump rope. Some of these basic workouts that you would expect a boxer to do. And the one time I saw him do the speed bag, it was for a photo op, and he started doing it, and he really didn't know what he was doing. I mean, it was bad. It was really, really bad. You could tell that he just never put any emphasis into it. Jay had a speed bag there, but apparently that wasn't one of the staples of their training modules, I guess. So you always got the sense that Mark Breland would have wanted that, but Deontay just wasn't doing it. I don't know if Deontay is doing it now. And again, you could say, well, so what? It's just a speed bag. Well, there's something to be said about building quick hands, quick movements. There's something about that muscle memory to be able to move your hands in a sequence and to throw off fast combinations. Deontay Wilder can throw off fast single punches, but not too many fast combinations. We don't see him throw a ton of combinations and letting his hands go in a way that we would describe as quick. Powerful, yes. But, there's a lot of telegraph punches there, a lot of unorthodox punches, let's say. So I'm curious to see if he incorporates something that small into his regime. But the fact that he's working the jump rope in there tells me, you know what? It's not about working cardio. I mean, he always worked cardio. He always had great cardio. A guy that could, do 10 rounds of shadow boxing like it's nothing. He could do something there. So I think that's notable that we recognize that he did have good, decent cardio. So there was that. But the footwork, what type of stuff is he doing in order to keep his footwork right? Is he getting those nuances that a good boxer should have while moving around the ring? Not walking around the ring, gliding around the ring. That's the way I see it. You want a boxer to glide around the ring. And I never really saw that from Deontay Wilder in anything, whether it was a fight or whether it was in his training. He looked very clumsy on his feet. And then there's this video that comes out that I see from the PBC that they released, but they say it's from Malik Scott on his Instagram account. So it's really coming from Malik Scott again, the person that's been putting everything out. So I thought it was really interesting when this video came out, and I took a look at it, and I gotta say, even though it's just him jump roping, he's showing agility and footwork that I have never seen him use before. And there is improvement there. So I'm going to put this up on the split screen, and let's take a look at it and see our thoughts together. And play. Okay, nothing, too impressive there. Just doing active jump rope, but he's moving his feet. He's working them out. He's, okay. He's crossing over. There you go, showing some bounce in his step, something that you don't see from him a whole lot. Working on the balls of his feet there, showing that rhythm that you would hope a boxer would have inside the ring. Oh, okay, there you go, working off different parts of his feet. Let's watch it again. Why not? Let's play it again. So again, yes, he's picking up his knees, but working off the balls of his feet, and as he moves the jump rope to the sides here, showing coordination that I've never seen him use before. There you go, right there, those little bounces there. If he can do that around the ring rather than walk around the ring, and he can bounce on his feet back and glide and use that length without crossing his feet over and be evasive, hey, you might have something there. He might show some more elusiveness in the ring. He might be able to take some better angles in the ring than he has in the past against Tyson Fury. So it's showing a new wrinkle, the fact that he's doing new things that he hasn't done before. And maybe that doesn't look that impressive to you, but to me, it shows that he's definitely putting an emphasis on working on that footwork, working on his rhythm, working on his fundamentals. The big question, is it going to be enough? Is it too little, too late? He's 35 years old. Tyson Fury, I believe, is 32 years old. You're still in your prime in 32. And after that, that's where I see boxers kind of slip off. And trying to get your footwork together at 35, these are things that should have been done. The jump rope, the rhythm, the footwork around the ring, that should have been done years and years and years ago. Maybe Mark Breland did try to instill those things in Deontay Wilder, and he just wasn't listening. What we know is he's listening now, but is it too little, too late? He's trying to prove that it's not. That shows that he is doing those traditional workouts meant to develop fundamentals of a boxer, that he is focusing on his skills as a boxer and not just a power puncher. But is it too little, too late? All I know is that those little things are going to give him a much better chance the third time around than he was in there the second time around, where his feet did look very lethargic, did look very flat. And trust me, I'm not putting any of the conspiracy theories out there because I don't believe a single one of them. I think he just got beat by a better boxer, but he's trying. But is it too little, too late? And I'll always say it, the only thing that really scares me about Deontay Wilder is his health. He has this terrible history that once we get close to fight day, something terrible happens. He tweaks a muscle, tears a tendon, breaks a hand, does something. And maybe even before a week of a fight. Maybe it's weeks before the fight. When you punch that hard, it's very easy to damage yourself. Yes, he can put a ton of force behind that fist, but for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, as we're taught in science class. So when he hits someone that hard, he's getting that force on his hand. Muhammad Ali had good knockout power, but in his 30s, then multiple handbrakes made it so he could barely close his fist. So says Angelo Dundee in his autobiography. Deontay Wilder will not take anything off of his punches, but that's when he breaks his hands. That's why he's needed multiple titanium rods inserted in and out of his hands and getting replaced, and he's bent them. So is he going to be able to withstand the rigors of being a boxer at 35, or is his body breaking down? All I know is that little jump rope video tells me he's trying to right some of the wrongs of his fundamentals. And that means he's taking this for real, he's being quite serious, and he's doing things that he's never done before, because I have never seen him do that workout before in all the times that I visited his training camp. So I think that bodes well for him going into this fight. Does it mean that he wins it because he's focusing on his footwork now? No. I'm I'm not saying who, well, I have said who I think is going to win. I think it's going to be Tyson Fury. But does it mean that he stands a much better chance? Yes. Does it mean that he's doing more of the things he should have been doing? Yes. It's a small thing, jumping rope. But it shows that he's doing things that he's never done before, and he's taking his fundamentals seriously. But will it matter on July 24th? We shall find out. Thank you guys for taking some time to watch this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the remind button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.